Hot take, most of the plot holes people complain about online aren't actually plot holes. And the ones writers panic about fixing, well, half of them are doing exactly what they're supposed to do. I want you to think about the last book you read that had a plot hole that bothered you. Now I want you to ask yourself, was it actually a plot hole? Or was it an unanswered question the author left there on purpose? Because there's a difference between the two. By the end of this video, I want you to be able to look at your manuscript and know with confidence whether what you're looking at is a plot hole that needs to be fixed or a deliberate story choice that's doing what it's supposed to do. And I'm going to give you the practical tools you need to find the real plot holes before readers find them. If you're new here, my name is Brianna and I post videos every Sunday that help you become a better writer. I also make easy-to-use writing workbooks to help you build and outline your novel from start to finish, so if you're interested, check them out in my Etsy shop, Planner Palette Code, linked in the description below, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel. So the term plot hole gets thrown around so casually by readers, by reviewers, by writers tearing apart their own work, that it's lost a lot of its actual meaning. Every inconsistency gets labeled a plot hole. Every unanswered question gets labeled a plot hole. Every character choice that confused someone gets called a plot hole. And that's a problem, because if you treat all of these things the same way, you're either gonna overfix your story by patching things that were never broken in the first place, or underfix it by leaving the actual plot holes open because you convince yourself they were intentional. A plot hole is an inconsistency that contradicts the established logic of your story. It might be a character acting in a way that makes no sense, a magical rule that conveniently changes, or a timeline that doesn't add up. These gaps in logic erode a reader's trust and pulls them out of the immersive world you've worked so hard to create. The key part of this definition is that it contradicts the established logic. A plot hole isn't something the reader didn't understand, but it's something that actively breaks the rules your own story already set up. For example, let's say we have two characters, Bran and Imogen. You establish in chapter 2 that Bran's magic is powered by emotional pain. The worse he feels, the stronger he is. Got it. Great magic system. Then in chapter 14, Bran is at his happiest. He's just reconciled with Imogen, he's laughing, he's free, so the expectation is that his magic will be weak. Instead, he unleashes the most devastatingly powerful spell he's ever cast. Now, this could work if you incorporate a reason for why this power is now functioning differently, but you never do. It's never explained, you don't connect the dots in any way, that's a plot hole. You established a rule, which you then broke without a reason, and that's something your reader will notice. Now, let's compare that to a different version of the story, where Bran uses his magic to save Imogen in chapter 14. We know it cost him something, but we never learn exactly what that cost was or whether he'll recover. That's not a plot hole, but rather a dangling thread, an unanswered question that could be intentional. It creates intrigue and keeps the reader invested. Loose ends or unexplained or unfinished subplots aren't necessarily plot holes. Your readers may not be happy about those unanswered questions, but that doesn't necessarily make them plot holes. The writer may have deliberately intended for them to be left open. This is the distinction that matters. A plot hole breaks your story's internal logic. An unanswered question invites curiosity. One damages your reader's trust, and the other earns it. So now that we've defined what a plot hole is, let's talk about the actual categories of a plot hole, because they don't all look the same, and knowing which type you're dealing with tells you exactly how to fix it. So the first plot hole type is the continuity error. This is the most obvious type, and arguably the most embarrassing for writers because it's the most preventable. A character's eye color changes. A building that was described as north of the town is later south of it. A wound heals between scenes with no time accounted for. For example, in Stephen King's It, Eddie's broken arm is sometimes on his left side and other times on his right side. In a Robin Crusoe moment, the main character strips naked to swim out to a sinking ship, but then brings back supplies by shoving them into his pockets that he doesn't have because he's naked. These can be embarrassing, and they break the spell completely. The reader isn't thinking about, say, Bran's emotional journey anymore or the intensity of the central conflict. Instead, they're thinking, wait, how is he effortlessly scaling this tree when he lost his leg 4 chapters ago? For fantasy especially, this extends to your world building. You say the Northern Gate is 3 days' ride from the capital. Then your characters travel from the capital to the Northern Gate in an afternoon. That's a continuity error. The second plot hole type is character logic violations. This is when a character does something that directly contradicts how you've established them to be. And by this, I don't mean that they make a choice that's morally questionable or that momentarily surprises us, but rather they make a choice that doesn't track with everything we've been told about who they are. If Imogen has spent 6 chapters being characterized as someone who would never betray Bran's trust, who's been defined by her fierce loyalty, And then in chapter 15, she casually hands Bran's secrets to the enemy with no meaningful internal conflict, no reason, no setup. That's a character logic violation. The caveat to this, though, is that characters can surprise us by doing things out of the blue, if there was groundwork laid beforehand. The difference between a character surprise and a character logic violation is usually foreshadowing. If Imogen has shown, even once or twice, a flicker of something underneath her loyalty, maybe a fear, a competing agenda, or a moment of hesitation, then her betrayal reads as a revelation. Without it, it reads as a mistake. The third plot hole type is when you break your world-building rules. And this one is the bane of fantasy specifically. If magic exists in your story, you absolutely should define its limitations and costs to make sure that it's not used as a convenient tool to solve unsolvable problems. One example here is Harry Potter's Time Turner. In the third book, an element is introduced that allows Hermione to attend additional classes so she can learn and do more. And that's the Time Turner, which allows one to turn back time. They use it toward the end of the story to save a specific character from a poor fate. And this was immediately met with speculation, because there are so many things the Time Turner could be used for. Why didn't anyone use it to prevent Voldemort? Why didn't they go back further? Now, there's a lot of discussion about this online, and I'm not going to get into the particulars of it. In the books, Rowling does try to explain the complications of using the Time Turner, but since there's so much speculation, confusion, and misinterpretation around it from readers, it clearly didn't land properly. My point is that if you establish a tool with enormous world-altering implications, but then the story continues without properly accounting for what that tool's existence means, this is something that should be revised. If you introduce a magic system, a technological rule, a political law, anything that governs how your world works, you have to either follow those rules or explain why they aren't being followed. Otherwise, readers will do it for you, loudly, on Goodreads. The fourth plot hole type is the convenient solution, or the deus ex machina. And I've talked about this many times in my videos. It's when the hero finds one obscure object they need at the exact moment they need it, or when characters facing a problem never discuss or try the most obvious solution, or when perfect, unexplained timing saves the day. This is the plot hole that's hardest for writers to see in their own work, because when you're deep inside the story, you know why the solution appeared. You know the sword was planted in chapter 3, you know there's backstory explaining how the healer got there in time. But if that information didn't make it onto the page clearly enough, your reader experiences it as magic appearing from thin air, and not the good fantasy kind. Ask yourself, if your protagonist were removed from the story entirely, would the problem still resolve itself? If yes, that's a problem. Your character needs to earn their victory, or loss, if that's how your story goes, through choices that they make actively based on who they are, not passively. Okay, so now that we know what plot holes are and what the most common types of them are, let's talk about unanswered questions and why they're not the same thing as plot holes. Not every gap in a story is a plot hole. Some gaps are doors. Loose ends in a story are unresolved questions, implications, or secondary threads that remain after the main conflict reaches its resolution. Loose ends are not the same thing as an unresolved plot, and they are definitely not the same thing as a missing ending. Intentional loose ends are very different from accidental loose ends. Let's think about Inception. The entire cultural conversation that movie generated was built on one unanswered question. Is Cobb still in a dream at the end? That question wasn't a flaw, it was the point. The movie earned that ambiguity because it spent 2 hours establishing the emotional core of the story, which is a man who needs to let go and accept reality regardless of what reality that is. Whether the spinning top falls or not doesn't change what the story was about. The ambiguity deepens the theme. This is where the real skill lives, knowing what has to be resolved and what is better off left to interpretation. A rule of thumb you can follow is that if the unanswered question is peripheral to your central theme and character arc, it can be left open. But if it's foundational to either of those things, it should be answered. Let's say Imogen has a tragic backstory, one that Bran keeps glimpsing in fragments throughout the book. Now, if it's not relevant to the plot or a character's arc, then you don't need to spell out every detail of it. We can understand what she lost and feel it without knowing the exact details. But if Imogen's backstory is directly the reason she takes a specific plot action in the third act, you need to show us enough of it that the action makes sense. If readers can understand who the character has become and why, then some external ambiguity can actually deepen the experience. But this is where writers can sometimes miscalculate. It can be easy to confuse imbuing your ending with a sense of mystery versus just plain leaving out necessary and desired details. Okay, so let's say you're in your manuscript and you find something that feels off, a gap. and you don't know whether to fix it or leave it. There are 3 questions you should ask yourself in this case. 1. Does it contradict something you already established? If yes, if it breaks a rule, contradicts the character's established behavior, or violates your world's logic, then it's a plot hole. Full stop. You should fix it. If no, if it's simply something the reader doesn't know, rather than something that breaks what they do know, keep going to question 2, which is, does the unanswered question serve the theme or the character arc? So let's go back to Inception. The unanswered question, which is he dreaming, directly serves the theme, which is letting go of control. They're inseparable. Now ask that about your gap. Is what's left unanswered there because it adds something, or is it unanswered because you didn't know how to answer it? Be brutally honest with yourself here because the difference matters. Not knowing how to resolve it is not the same as choosing not to resolve it. And the third question is, will a reader feel confused or will they feel intrigued? This is where you check your gut feeling. Confusion is what happens when a reader has lost their footing, when the internal logic of the story has failed them and they no longer trust what they're reading. Intrigue is what happens when a reader is leaning in, when they want to know more and when they're actively engaged with your story. When they want to know more and when they're actively engaged with the mystery. Now, before you decide to omit an answer, ask yourself why. Is it to encourage further thought or make the story more memorable? If you can articulate why it stays open and give a clear creative reason, then it's an intentional choice. But if the answer is something like you weren't sure, then that's your cue to do the work and answer it. So let's say you've asked yourself these 3 questions and you're realizing that the thing that felt off in your manuscript could actually be a plot hole. In that case, let's talk about how to actually pinpoint where the plot hole is in your own work, because unfortunately, you are the worst person to find plot holes in your manuscript. Not because you're a bad writer, but because you know your story too well. You know what you meant to put on the page. So your brain automatically fills in those gaps. All the information that lives in your head, which never made it onto the page, but you assume it's there because you know the story so thoroughly. This is why when you're so deep in a book, you can't always tell when there's a plot hole. So there are 5 steps you can take to help find them. Step 1 is to build your story Bible. Before you revise, create a document that tracks every rule of your magic system and what it can and can't do, every character's established traits, motivations, and knowledge, and a timeline of events, who was where, when, and how things look. One of the best ways to ensure consistency in your characters and your world is to create profiles of basic details like their names, ages, physical descriptions, elements of backstory that might affect the plot, etc. This is your anchor. When something feels off, check it against the Bible. Step 2 is to follow your supporting characters. Follow the story through from the points of view of your supporting or minor characters and subplots. When you trace the logical flow of events through different perspectives, gaps are easier to find. So let's forget about Bran for a moment and think about Imogen. Follow Imogen's path through the entire story as if she were the protagonist. Does her journey make internal sense? Do her choices track? Do the things she knows align with what she could realistically have learned? When you change the frame of your story to another character, you'll find things you never noticed before. Step 3 is to tell the story out loud. I hate doing this one, but it works. Tell the story to yourself out loud. What you're looking for here is a story sequence that says, because this happened to the character, this next thing had to happen. Rather than a, this happened, then that happened, but they're not super related to each other. Everything has to be a tight cause and effect. The moment you find yourself saying, and this happened, instead of saying, because or therefore this happened, that's a potential plot hole. Stories that hold together are built on causality, not coincidence. Step 4 is to read with fresh eyes. Step away from your manuscript and come back once you've forgotten about it for a bit. As you do your first editing read-through, read it as if you were a reader. That's when the inconsistencies will jump out. Whenever you wonder why or how something happens in your story that feels or seems contradictory or isn't explained in a way that feels right, you've most likely found a plot hole. If something happens and you think, wait, how did this happen? That's your signal. Don't explain it away in your head, write it down, and investigate it. And then step 5 is to find honest beta readers. Not your friends, not your partner who's afraid to hurt your feelings. Find people who will tell you, I got confused here, or this didn't make sense to me, without sugarcoating it. If multiple beta readers are being tripped up by the same thing in your story, it's a problem area you'll want to look into. Okay, so you found a real undeniable plot hole. Now what? For continuity errors, go back and fix the detail. Change one end of the contradiction to align with the other. Just make sure that fixing one thing doesn't create a new inconsistency elsewhere, because if you pull on one thread, the whole sweater could unravel. And be sure to update your story Bible once you've made the fix. if you're doing that. For character logic violations, the fix is usually one of two things. Either you add in foreshadowing earlier in the story to set up the behavior that felt inconsistent, or you rewrite the moment itself to align better with who your character is. Sometimes the inconsistency is actually a signal that your character has changed and you didn't realize when it happened, which is actually useful information. Now, for world building rule breaks, if you need things to function in a specific way later on in the plot, simply change the explanation you gave earlier. But be careful because technology and magic systems have an impact on the world and the characters of your story. So if you change even one element of your magic, you'll need to make sure it's convincing in all aspects of the rest of your book. Changing one rule can have ripple effects, so make sure you map them out before you commit. And if your plot hole is a convenient solution, then just add in an earlier scene where the solution is either foreshadowed or where characters genuinely try and fail to find it. The solution needs to feel earned, which means the reader needs to see the work it took to get there. Now, before we wrap up, I want to name an exception to this because it exists. Some stories are built entirely on unanswered questions, and they worked beautifully. Writers like Toni Morrison deliberately leave gaps in their story's logic and trust the reader to fill in or sit with the absence. Those instances aren't sloppiness, but craft. But, and this is a significant but, in order for perfection to work, the reader must trust you. That means writing with intention, consistency of tone, and emotional honesty. You can confuse the reader, briefly, you can frustrate them, strategically, but if they sense that you don't know what you're doing, they'll probably check out. So yes, ambiguity is a legitimate and powerful tool. Unanswered questions can be like a parting gift to the reader, but only when the rest of your story has earned that trust. The foundation has to be solid before you can leave the roof open. So, a plot hole is a contradiction that breaks your story's logic and erodes your reader's trust, and creates a kind of intrigue that makes your readers think about your story long after they've closed it. One damages your story, the other can make it. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, you might want to watch this one next. And tell me, after watching this video, do you think there might be a plot hole in your story? Until the next chapter.